They say into your early life, romance game.
At the beginning of this year, I went to IFFR, the International Film Festival Rotterdam in the Netherlands, which is one of my favorite festivals I ever got to visit. I'll also be making a vlog type video about my time and experience there. This video, on the other hand, is going to be about the films I got to see. I was there for 2 weeks and I saw a lot of films, some good, some not so good, and some hidden gems. One of the films I saw on my first day was The Halt from the Philippines, directed by Lav Diaz, and I quite honestly can't believe I made it out alive. This was my first time experiencing a film this long in a theater. I have seen long films like this one, but I had the privilege of pausing them and doing other stuff before continuing. Here I had to sit in a seat for almost 5 hours, and it ended up being easier than I thought. I was sleepy and tired, and it was also the last film of the day, so I went in there thinking I would fall asleep before the first hour. That happened 2 times, shortly at the beginning, and later I was all hooked. This is one of the strangest films I saw. The plot alone sets your head into a crazy space. It is a dystopian future, black and white, political drama film from the Philippines with a runtime of 4 hours and 43 minutes. Director Lav Diaz managed to craft this into an interesting, character-driven film which is full of crazy, cuckoo people and plays into a superb, dark comedy. There's a character who works as a prostitute and she becomes obsessed with drinking fresh blood. A dictator, which was my favorite character, who as the film progresses turns from a Hitler-like figure into an old and pathetic grandmother who loves knitting and talking to his dead mother. It is a brilliant social and political satire. Just the sheer magnitude of this film is mind-blowing. The black and white that is used is quite honestly necessary in telling the story, and it never felt pretentious to me. That was the first Lav Diaz film I saw, and I can't wait to see more. It managed to shift between comedy and art film very well, and I'm thankful that was the case because if you're investing 5 hours of your day for a film, it better be worth it. I love the long takes in which you just listen to the characters speak. It felt like theater at times, and I felt like I was watching a Roy Andersson film as well. The structure is one of the most important parts because it either makes or breaks the film, and here it truly did the film justice. There are multiple storylines and each of them lasts just long enough for you to get what you need, and each of them is mesmerizing. It's like a collection of one of those short films full of interesting, bizarre, funny and thought-provoking dialogue. It never overstays its welcome, and it is one of the most dynamic films I've seen in a long time. If this seems interesting to you, and if you can get your hands on this film, or if you're a fan of Lav Diaz in general, you should definitely check it out. I accidentally came across Bitter Chestnut, directed by Gurvinder Singh, and it was a decent film to fill up my time. I chose to see it mostly because of the world in which the characters are from, of which I know barely anything about. I thought it would be cool to step into that world for a while. The film centers on people living in the Himalayas. This is a feature film that feels very much like a documentary, showing us the characters and their customs, and the crossroads that the people of that country are at, stuck between the traditions and the modernity that is slowly enveloping the young and the old. In the middle of it all is a boy who works in a cafe away from his hometown, where people live a more traditional lifestyle. He wants to get out of the mundanity of his hometown and explore the world, but he is expected to continue the role his parents and grandparents set out for him. The theme of the film is pretty universal, but it was interesting observing the destiny of the main character played out in that specific situation. The cinematography was serviceable, the screenplay was straightforward and effective. What stuck out to me was the way the director used the actors, or should I say the characters, because the characters were real, and I say that because at the beginning of the film, it is stated that the actors are portraying themselves, and that they weren't actually acting. The main character is the same in real life. His parents in the film are his real parents, and the job he has is his real job. It was done in the spirit of the films of Samira and Mohsen Makhmalbaf or Abbas Kiarostami, where the lines between fact and fiction are blurred in order to tell something more truthful about the world we live in. Now, do I think it succeeded in those attempts? Not necessarily. I think that the director could have had more fun with the way he presented the story. It lacked any real charm, and it lacked real voice. Having seen it, I think the director could have made it as a straight-up documentary, because it felt at times as one of those National Geographic or Discovery Channel documentaries, but without the complimentary voiceover or narration. If you are interested in the world of these characters, I definitely recommend this movie as a sort of curiosity. But if you wanted to see something innovative or with an interesting perspective, I don't think you'll find it in this one. Having said that, I heard that the film isn't necessarily a reflection on the director's other work, so I will definitely be checking out some previous films he has done. I'll be covering more of the films I saw at the festival in upcoming videos. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.